everyone, this is Big Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video review, and this will be my review of the first 3 opening episodes of Gen V Season 2. Now there could potentially be spoilers here, not only for these episodes, but also for the first season and also for the Boys series, so just beware when going to this overall video. And you can check out my previous coverage of both shows within the channel, and I'll leave some links to the videos within the description. So just in case anybody who doesn't know, Gen V is a spin-off series that is set within the Boys universe, which involves the corrupt celebrity superhero group known as the Seven, who were genetically created by the multinational company known as Vault International. Now Gen V took place before the 4th season of The Boys, concentrating on a group of younger teenagers with abilities who were also known as Supes, being educated within the Godolphin University with aspirations of one day joining the Seven. Now the core characters around Gen V concern Maria Morale, Andre, Emma Meyer, Kate and Sam and Jordan Lee, who all go through their various issues and dilemmas as they go on to uncover darker secrets within the university, tying to government conspiracy and experimentation of other superpowered teenagers. Now the season 1 finale saw the outbreak of the imprisoned Supes, concentrated by the virus that was created, which saw them run riots within the campus, causing all sorts of carnage. Marie tries to engage Sam and Kate, who were leading the revolt, but is eventually stopped by Homelander with his heat vision. And at the end, we see Marie, Jordan and Emma and Andre captured within a secret facility, while Sam and Kate are held by the media for stopping the riots within the campus and having potential later on of joining the Seven. We ended the episode of seeing cameos of both Homelander and Billy, leading to the events that happened within The Boys Season 4. Now when Gen V debuted, I initially was skeptical, as I didn't think a spin-off series could go anywhere near to matching the compelling material that was set by The Boys, but I was pleasantly surprised at how it was able to stand on its own more than anything else by setting its own story standalone from The Boys. Whilst it has ties to that series, I don't think you necessarily need to watch The Boys in order to know what's going on within Gen V. And overall, I let the majority of the core characters who had enough background and depth to make you connect to them and keep watching to see what happens to them throughout the show. And of course, it shared the same violent tone and vulgarity and R-rated nature of The Boys. That's to be expected by now. So at this stage, you shouldn't really go into the show if you are turned off by highly gratuitous sex and violent scenes, because this is what is to be expected by now. So I went into season 2 with high hopes that this could continue the consistent high quality form that what we saw within the first season. And after these first 3 episodes, I was generally pleased overall. It seemed to have the same consistency in terms of the tone. We do, as I mentioned before, get some extreme violence and also very coarse and very juvenile moments. And it is amazing how both these shows continually make you wince despite being used to them by now. But there it is. We get scenes, particularly in the first and second seasons, that definitely aren't for the faint-hearted. But I think Gen V doesn't quite go as far as The Boys does. In terms of the constant sex and violence, this is more sporadic, what we see within The Boys, and I think that's a lot down to the fact that we are dealing much more with teenage characters. Now in terms of the story itself, over the 3 episodes, we opened up with a flashback to 1967, where we see a horrific outbreak of experimentation, and this involved the original Dr. Godolphin, who was working alongside Vault, who created the international company. And after that, we go to the events of the show, which is set after the 4th season of The Boys, where we see the media concentrating on the death of Victoria Newman, who was killed by Billy Butcher, who was infected by the parasite, as what we saw within the 4th season of The Boys. We of course see Homelander has very much taken over the Congress and presidential presidency, and the Seven continue to be as dominant as ever. Now in terms of Gen V, we see that Emma and Jordan are released and put in front of the media to account for the campus outbreak, taking some form of responsibility. We find out that Marie has escaped the facility, and we see her on the run in the streets. She later comes under attack from an assassin, but is saved by Starlight, who advises her to go back to Vault, as that is the safest option for her. Now we find out that Andre died trying to break the others out in an earlier escape attempt. Now, this storyline carries some resonance given the fact that the actor who played Andre sadly died in a car accident a couple of years ago. And overall, I think they handled that absence very well here. It was probably the right decision to kill the character off rather than recast him. I know in recent times we've seen various shows and movies go the other way in terms of recasting, and that's borne success. But I think they handled it right here, and it didn't really cast a shadow over the events throughout the second season. They were able to address it in the right way, and then by the third season, move on to what happens with the other characters. Now, at the end of the first episode, we see Emma and Jordan locate Marie, and then they face off against Kate, and they accidentally repel her against the wall, and this causes her with a fatal injury. Episode 2 sees Marie return to Vault as her and the other students endure a very intense fight session with a God of War like character. This is all tying into the new dean of the university named Cypher, who we all can tell has some suspicious motivations behind the group. See Emma later on meeting up with Andre's dad, who has his own motivations for revenge. She manages to calm him down, and they go ahead to find some sort of secret conspiracies within the Vault and Godolphin University. After looking at the various files, they discovered that Vault had a secret project weapon known as the Odessa, which later on is revealed to be Marie as she goes to rediscover her family roots. Of course, if you remember from the first season, she killed her parents after having an outbreak of her powers. She later discovers that her younger sister is still around, and we see her very angry and despondent after being denied connection with her. We move on to the third episode, which is probably the weakest of the three, as the story kind of stalled in terms of the overall conspiracy. We see Emma tracking down other members who were spraying the word resist all over the university. It was probably the least interesting story arc of the first 3 episodes. We concentrated on Sam trying to battle his inner demons. He goes to Kate, who has recovered from her wounds in the face-off against the others from before, but we see that Kate is more resistant to use her powers. She previously has been aiding Sam in getting to grips with his inner angst, but she refuses this time around. We then see an intense face-off between Sam and Jordan within the college as she eventually calms Sam down. As Marie and Jordan consummate their relationship together, we ended the episode with Jordan initially giving a speech about how they wanted to atone for the outbreak within the campus from the season 1 finale, but he makes a sudden decision to reveal the truth, that it was indeed the others who were responsible in capturing them and trying to get them eliminated. And having outed this to the whole public, we will know for sure that there will be further implications later on down the line. So there was plenty here to keep me invested for what's going to happen throughout the rest of the season. Overall, I would still maintain that Emma and Jordan remain the strongest characters within the show. Kate remains an interesting personality because she's kind of caught between both sides, within working alongside Cypher, but also wanting to build a reconnect with the others despite the fact that they continually mistrust her. I would say overall that Sam remains the weakest of the characters. He was very much the more mysterious personality within season 1, but within this story so far, all it is just him having his outbreak of emotions. Initially, I thought that he was the most powerful characters of the group, but this time around he doesn't seem as important or as integral to what's going on so far, so later on that could change as we go throughout the second season. Now, we did get various cameos from the Boys series. We saw Firecracker with her various media presentations. We saw the Deep giving a message to some sort of cult of young men, and of course we had Starlight before giving her advice to Marie. So I think it's always good to have these little cameos because it just reminds us that this ties into the Boys universe, but it's best to have them sporadically so the Boys doesn't in any way, shape or form overshadow Gen V as a particular show. Because I do think again that Gen V is strong enough to stand on its own, though at the same time I think Amazon do have to draw some criticism here for the severe underpromotion of the series. We've had very little in terms of promotional material, and given how popular The Boys is, you think they would do a much more to propel the show in connection to that series, as well as it being a standalone entity. We know that there will be a further spin-off from The Boys featuring characters set within the location of Mexico. So it will be interesting to see if Gen V manages to survive or sustain itself for a season 3 and a season 4, if it connects at all to that future spin-off, as well as having any further connections to when we see the 5th and final season of The Boys, which will debut next year in 2026. Overall, very pleased with the first 3 episodes of the season 2 of Gen V, and very interested to see where the story heads next in the future. So there's my overall thoughts and feelings when looking back at the first 3 episodes of Gen V. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any other further movies, television series, or any other topics for the pop entertainment and culture scene that you'd like to see me cover within the channel, then also let me know in the comments, and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.